Hi, it's Melinda coming to you from Hope When There Was None, and I want to touch on a very uncomfortable subject. That would be sex. Sex after abuse. So I don't know what made me think of it, but it's very important as you're healing through, let's say you are still a victim, perhaps maybe you are a survivor. It's very important. It's a very important act between people and two people that hopefully love each other. Sometimes that's not the case. So let's say you've jumped out of that relationship, whether it be your spouse, whatever partner it was. Let's say you're getting out of that and you are going to jump back into a normal relationship. So let's see. So what kind of baggage will you be bringing with you on your journey? So let's say you haven't had any help. So let's see, there could be some fear. You might avoid having the act, doing sex at all. Sex becomes an obligation. So let's say you just want to say, well, he or she is ready to go at it, and you just feel like, well, I'm not really in the mood, or I'm just having a bad anxiety day. Let's just get this over and done with. Or perhaps you're under the mindset. It could be that you've had maybe some sort of religious abuse that from your previous relationship, and the woman is supposed to do what the man tells her. Now, I don't know if I'm striking a chord. I know that feeling, so I've had that experience myself. So it becomes an obligation. You have to follow what the man says, so you just do it. It's your wifely obligation. So you do it that way. You might not enjoy sex that much. You might have a hard time really just letting yourself go and enjoying it. You also might have flashbacks during your experience, which also will cause you not to enjoy yourself very much. Now, if you have a flashback and during the act, you need to give yourself a little bit of a timeout if you can, but I'll get to that in a second. So you also might have trouble orgasming, climaxing. Men might have some male issues too, because this goes both ways. This could be, let's say it's not because of your partner. Perhaps it's a child abuse. Maybe it's a rape. It could be any, there's just a big amount of scenarios that this could be impacted by. So let's say that you also, maybe you decide to go a little crazy and don't want to hook up with another person because you're afraid of getting hurt because of that previous relationship. So then you have unsafe and unprotected sex. Maybe you just have flings. That could be too. You might become the aggressor where you were very passive before. So this might be a totally different side of yourself. You could become just distant from your partner or from everybody else. So just to say, those aside, sex is a beautiful act. God created it. It's a marvelous thing when it's right with somebody. You might not have that experience, but I got to tell you, it's beautiful. When the circumstances are right, the two people are right, it can be really awesome. It should be consensual. If you are just not feeling it, if something your partner is suggesting is just not setting right with you, or they've suggested something and it just puts you at ease, maybe it triggers memories, they should be able to respect you enough and support you enough to say, okay, I'm backing off. Maybe we can do this later, visit it another day, something of that nature. Hopefully they respect you enough. In that, you might consider a safe word. Now, I've talked about safe words before. Safe words are great and could be used, like, let's say a neighbor sees you, there's some kind of violent act, you want to alert your family or friends, but it also can be used in the bedroom. Now, if your partner is doing something that doesn't make you feel, it makes you feel uncomfortable, or you're just not digging it, maybe you are thinking about whatever act it was and it's just triggering some memories, or maybe you're having an anxiety attack. It's possible. You may want to have a safe word, like, let's say butterfly or cranberry, tangerine, raspberry, whatever the word is. Discuss this with your partner and let them know that, hey, when I feel uncomfortable, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to stop what you're doing and I'm going to say my safe word. And at that point, the partner, again, should be respectful and supportive enough to say, okay, we'll stop. Stay away from any negative media. Now, when I started, and I'm jumping back into myself, guys, so I know I'm not trying to make it all about me, but when I had sought somebody out for some tips and suggestions, the counselor at that time said to stay away from media. And my doctor said the same thing. The media, and you might not understand what I'm talking about, because you might be, well, what are you talking about? The media can actually trigger some emotions. And even though you don't realize it, honestly, guys, Hollywood, they kind of glorify some of these acts. Now, I admit, I watch A Handmaiden's Tale. There were some scenes on there that were very graphic, and so much that I had to fast forward it or just stop watching. I just couldn't do it. There are some acts, especially rape scenes, that I can't handle. Like, I won't go through the movies, but you know what I'm talking about. There are some movies out there that, even though they're comedies, the guy's following around the girl, kind of like stalking her and giving her flowers, and it's in a creepy way, but Hollywood glamorizes it. And this could be a trigger too. It's negative, even though it might seem positive or funny, haha, he's doing this or she's doing that to him because he wants her back. It's creepy. So stay away from anything like that. Even your news that you watch or may read that has so much about rapes that might have happened, and you might see that, and that can trigger you as well. So staying away from all media. We don't do TV here, and that seems foreign and strange, and besides, it's very costly. So, and for a lot of channels that there's nothing redeeming on, but so we don't do TV. I rarely listen to the news or read a paper, and this is very foreign for people, but I have to do it for me. So I'm suggesting, and you can even talk with your doctor, and I'm hoping you see a counselor, but talk to them about these things. All of these. Again, I am not a counselor. I'm not an attorney. I'm just somebody that's been through this, and I understand, and I get it. I totally get what you're going through right now. The recovery from this, it's not going to be instantaneous, okay? It's going to take work, whether it be from recovering from sex abuse, domestic violence, emotional, verbal, and so on and so on. It takes time, and it's baby steps. You will get there. I got to tell you, from where I was 10 years ago, going on 10 years ago, to where I am now, it's entirely different. So be gentle with yourself, and you will get through it. It will happen. Your journey is going to be hard, and it's going to be very healing, but please be gentle. So again, talking with your counselor, talking with your therapist. So educate yourself, read some books, go to different blogs, podcasts, websites, and find out what they suggest to help you with this. Again, counseling is a great thing that you can do, even if it's a group counseling. Maybe you just need a journal about it, whatever works for you. What works for me, what works for others might not work for you, but find what fits for you. So the partner, let's go back to that. So your partner should have respect for you. They should be supportive for you. And you should be able to trust this person. Now ask yourself, do you trust this person? Do I trust this person that they're going to have your back? Is this person going to be supportive of you? Do you feel safe? Let's say you're going to a hotel or something, and you might have had an experience in that type of setting. You might not feel safe. They might include toys, okay? Let's be open here. There might be handcuffs or whips or whatever it is. Perhaps you were abused this way. You should be able to feel safe and comfortable enough to let your partner know that this is no good for you. It's not going to work, or perhaps maybe it's something you can entertain at a later time. You just don't feel comfortable right now. Perhaps you can revisit that, maybe after you're done healing. So you also might want to take a break from sex. I'm not saying going cold turkey or whatever, but you might have to. If these feelings are interfering that drastically, that you actually can't even fathom another partner or push people away, you may need to take a break. Just don't do it again for that obligation, wifely obligation, girlfriend obligation, because he says so. No, take a break. Be gentle with yourself. And if this person isn't respecting what you like, what you don't like, you might need to rethink that relationship. Give yourself some moments to say no. If you're not feeling it, don't just say, I'm just going to do it. And again, very, very important, seek professional help. With no other choice, please do so. I can't tell you who to see, but seek professional help for sure. Give yourself time to heal. If you're a partner and you're not quite sure what to do, give her or him time to heal. This is going to take, as I mentioned, time. Let's say it was one night, perhaps they were raped. They can still relive these memories, and you relive these events and memories. It could be a smell, it could be something you've seen, it could be music that you're playing. You might have a nice playlist going on with some candles, and it's nice, and you got roses on the bed, and it's just like, whoa, baby, you know it's all right. But you play that playlist, and there's something on there that your partner might be triggered by. And that might kill the mood, but it's better than doing that. If you hear, respect your person there, and just be upfront. Let her talk, let him talk, and find out what's going on. And you might just feel like something's off. You'll know it. You'll know when something's off. But be supportive and communicate. That's why this whole thing, whether you are the victim, survivor, or the partner, communication is a must. You also have to have some respect for each other, both of you together. If this is something that's not going to work, maybe neither of you can get past whatever past hurts there are, you might have to consider counseling for yourselves. There is wonderful marriage counselors and everything you can think of out there to help with these issues, because they're very important. Sex, it's very important in a relationship, and I'm not going to belittle that or say no, it's not. It is for a healthy relationship. So consider that going forward. I know this is something we don't always talk about. This is a little taboo to hit on. So we talk about the emotional side and the mental side of healing, but we never talk about the sexual side. Now, there might be words that you don't want to hear. There might be like a pet name that might trigger you. Maybe it was as a child, an adult molested you or something. There are certain key words you want to stay away from, and you just want to be careful. Once again, educating yourself as a partner of someone that's been abused or victimized, or as a victim or survivor of abuse. We really need to educate yourselves better. I'm happy to take any other questions, concerns, anything you have. I'm happy to listen. If you're local and you want to get together for some coffee, a cup of tea, I'm here, Northwest Indiana, up to an hour away. I am happy to travel. If you need support, maybe you need someone to take you to the police station, or go to fill out paperwork, or go perhaps to court. A lot of hearings happen sometimes. I'm happy to come with you. I don't mind. Just send me a private message. I guess that's about it. I don't want to ramble too much longer, but I'm thinking of you. I'm praying for you. Again, send me any private messages that you might have. I'm sorry, I'm a little cold and stuttery today. Or also, I do have a group right now. It's a secret group for survivors and victims of abuse. And it's just to send little insights. I do send little videos that are private just to that group from time to time, a little interaction right there for extra support. If you have any questions about that group, just private message me. I love you, and again, I'm open up for any questions, concerns that you might have about this topic, because it's a hard one, and it was kind of tough for me to bring it to you today, and without rehashing anything that I had went through. But I think I've talked a lot about me. I'm going to let you go. I love you. Stay safe. I will talk to you later. Bye.